If you could buy stock in one 49ers player, who would it be? It's a tough question. Because you got someone like Fred Warner, that's an expensive stock. That's like investing in Apple. Everyone knows that's a good stock.
And even though like Trey Lance, that would be like an IPO that opened, but it opens at a high number, because everybody wants that stock. So it's not opening at a penny stock.
Well, Chris Sims has him at 38 right now in the league. I'm curious to see what his value would be. A lot of people are like, well, Division II, he didn't play last year. Okay, all right. Drive that value down.
What was McNair? What was that, a Division II school?
Yes, he went to Alcorn State, man.
Alcorn State. It might have been an HBCU.
I think it was.
If I could buy stock in a player, I'm probably going to be a little conservative and go with the offensive lineman.
Okay.
With bench. Okay. You're talking about a monster of a man. You're talking about a position you can play 20 years in the league easily. Injuries aren't really a factor because it's not like you don't need to be running 40-yard dashes. So I think that's the kind of player I would, maybe invest in if I had to put some stock in.
Okay. Aaron Banks, that's a good one. I think I'm leaning toward Lance, even though you make a good point that it's not going to be as cheap as you think, but I do think it has the ability to explode. If you want to make some real money.
That's the stock I want. I want the Lance stock.
I want the Lance stock.
QB stock. But I like to say, and I think somebody was saying Sims put a lot of emphasis on if you haven't played yet, because I think isn't Trevor Lawrence and Wilson, pretty low as well.
Yep.
So it's kind of, that one's kind of, I think they're probably better than that. But until I see them on the field, I'm going to put them here, kind of make them earn their spot, as far as in his rankings.
I think I would pony up for the Lance stock, but that depends on what it's going for. Let's talk about some penny stocks.
It might be worth it like Apple. Yeah. Even if you bought Apple at 15,
I wouldn't go for Bosa. I'm scared about his injury issue. That's a stock that could fall apart. I wouldn't go for Kittle. Same.
Yeah, Kittle definitely. No. And age.
Yes.
I just got into a little tit about Kittle, and Kelsey, and I'm not saying Kittle is awful, but Kelsey, the numbers, and they were well, Mahomes, he was doing that before Mahomes, Yeah, Alex Smith is good for a tight end, but the touchdowns, what does Kelsey do that Kittle doesn't? Besides being a better blocker, and
that's the thing. Kittle fans really point to his blocking, and blocking is important, but Travis Kelce has 48 touchdowns in his career, and George Kittle has 14. So touchdowns are also important. I'll take touchdowns over blocking. Really, you can get blocking. You can get blocking in late rounds.
But see, that's what people do. They latch on to whatever kind of booster point. Who is the great tight end in history that we point to that was just a great blocker? Even Mike Ditka, he was probably a great blocker, but he caught the ball too. He did a lot of things. Even our history, our tight ends caught the ball.
Vernon Davis caught a ton of touchdowns.
Gonzalez. You don't become a great tight end by being a great blocker. You got to do more than that. But if this is your guy, and this is one of his best attributes, well, then you're gonna put that out there and that defeats the purpose.
Kelsey can't block like him. He's not a real tight end. Okay, well, whatever you want to call him.
He's so good at blocking. Why are we paying use check?
Right. Yeah.
We need a great blocking fullback and a tight end, and we need the highest paid lineman in the league, left tackle. Some of these things, I meant to bring up Brunt scale as far as the luck too. That year, 2019, like you said, the injuries that did get covered up, 2 of them were by Brunskill, and that was complete luck coming from the European League or something, wherever he was from. And that's another guy, like you say, everything's circular. Why didn't you leave him the swing tackle? Or, you know what I'm saying? Why did you end up making him and I've never heard of a team trying to make an O lineman play every position.
I know. That's been bugging you since forever. Yeah.
We're going to have him be the swing tackle, backup guard, and center.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
like
Good luck.
school, we want him
Yeah.
to be all 5. Like, no.
Why? Yeah. Who does
Jack
that?
of all trades,
Now, hold
master.
on. I want to finish this topic this way. What are some penny stocks you think that could blow up?
Penny
this year?
stocks.
Some
that
penny
could
stocks.
blow up.
Like I think Richie James Jr. is one right now.
Richie, yeah.
I mean, who's to say Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk will make it through training camp in one piece? These are some serious training camps, man. They both pull muscles. Richie James does too.
One of those guys goes out, it's not good at all.
So Richie James the next man up. Ross Dwelly's the next man up. If Kittle goes down again, 2 guys.
True.
Yeah.
I like Mitchell. I like the running back Mitchell as a penny stock.
Okay.
You know, with the attrition we have at running back, you know, I could really see that kid just like not even wanting, but just getting an opportunity, you know, due to injury and really, you know, running, you know, literally with the ball.
Yeah.
And with his speed, and I mean, you know, y'all were talking about catching the ball. Like he was the guy I heard, you know, most about in OTAs or in rookie minicamp. Like he was catching the ball with his hands away from his body. Like they said he looked real good as far as a pass catcher. So he can, you know, if he can pick up the pass blocking, you know, which is definitely key, as Bish was saying, you know, then I could definitely see that kid making a name for himself. But I think it's like in past years. I think you'll know early in the season. It'll kind of show itself, those penny stocks. I don't know that we know who they are right now because, you know, y'all only get to see so much, you know. But I think time will show. It's gonna be like they've been so lucky in that aspect, and I think that'll continue.
Last year it was Jason Verrett,
right? Yeah, and that was a penny stock they put money into, and it's been fruitful. You know, now they're double dipping, you know, planning on it, but at least it's only 1 year.
That's true. Yeah.
But I'm glad they didn't go after another receiver. Like after that many years, you know, like come on, like 1 year, stay away from receiver.
And seriously, how many wide receivers are you going to draft in a 4-year period? You got a lot of them. Give them a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to. And Croc said the same thing about cornerback. You know, the year we all thought, oh, they got to draft the cornerback. Croc was like, nah, they're not drafting the cornerback. Like they got Witherspoon, they got E-Man, they got these other guys, they got T. Moore they're trying to turn into a cornerback at the time. So he was like, nah. And I mean, I think they were wise not to invest in that position. Now, I'm not saying every pick was wise because you probably didn't need Sermon. Like, you know, he could be a good running back, but we talked about this. Like, unless the running back coach just really wanted him because he deserves a guy, you know. So unless Bobby Turner just came in there and, you know, put his foot down and said, which I don't think he would have done that for Sermon. I don't see that type of skill set. But if he did, then I'm with it. If not, like history has shown, you don't need to draft your running back. Maybe other teams do, but you don't need